More than 80% of drivers make mistakes without knowing it, and these could be shortening the life of their automatic car. You might be guilty of some of these too. These little things you do could be causing more damage than you think. Today, we're exposing 15 stupid mistakes that are killing automatic cars every day. Doing even one of these could be a $5,000 repair bill before you know it. Mistake number 15. Shifting from reverse to drive without stopping. So many people shift from reverse to drive or vice versa while the car is still rolling. Bad idea. This forces the transmission to suddenly change the direction of power flow, putting enormous strain on internal components like clutches and gears. Over time, you'll wear out the transmission prematurely, leading to major failure and thousands in repairs. You're in a hurry, backing out of a spot, and you yank the shifter into drive while still rolling backward. Congratulations, you just forced your transmission to slam the brakes on itself and change direction mid-motion. That's not driving, that's mechanical abuse. Every time you shift before stopping, you're asking clutch packs and gears to fight each other. The transmission doesn't care that you're late, it just starts breaking down from the inside. 1 second of patience could save you $4,000. But most folks learn that the hard way when their car jerks, hesitates, or flat out refuses to shift anymore. Always come to a complete stop before changing gears. It only takes a second, but it could add years to your transmission's life. And if you think that's bad, wait till you hear what this next mistake does to your AC system. Mistake number 14, ignoring the recirculation button. Most drivers have no idea what that little button with the circular arrow does. Or worse, they know what it does and still ignore it. That's the recirculation button, and using it wrong is costing you money and killing your AC system faster than you think. Here's what happens. On a hot summer day, you crank the AC with fresh air mode on. Your AC is now trying to cool down 95-degree outside air instead of the 75-degree air already inside your cabin. That makes your compressor work 3 times harder, burns more fuel, and wears out your AC components years earlier than they should. I've seen AC compressors fail at 60,000 miles because people never used recirculation. The compressor was running at maximum capacity every single time, overheating and slowly destroying itself. Replacing an AC compressor? You're looking at $800 to $1,500 depending on the car. But here's the flip side. Leave recirculation on all the time and you're creating a different problem. Moisture builds up inside the cabin, your windows fog up, and in winter, you're recycling humid air that makes defrosting impossible. Plus, you're breathing the same stale air over and over, which isn't great for long drives. The rule is simple. Hot day, recirculation on to cool faster and protect your AC. Cold day or foggy windows, fresh air mode to clear moisture and improve visibility. Your AC system wasn't designed to cool outside air constantly. Give it a break and it'll last twice as long. And trust me, if you're ignoring this, you're probably ignoring your fuel gauge too. Mistake number 13, running on empty. In most cars, the fuel pump lives inside the gas tank and it relies on fuel to stay cool. When you're running low, that cooling effect disappears. Over time, this can shorten your pump's life, making it a pricey fix. That fuel light's been on for 3 days and you're still pushing it. You think you're saving a trip to the gas station. What you're really doing is slowly killing your fuel pump. The fuel pump sits inside your gas tank, submerged in fuel. That gas cools it down and keeps it lubricated. Run low all the time and the pump's exposed to air, running hot and dry. Then there's the sediment. When you're close to empty, you stir up all the gunk sitting at the tank's bottom. This grit can clog your fuel filter and hit performance. Worst case, it damages other parts of your fuel system too. One clogged injector can cause misfires and rough idling. A full set of replacements, that's another $600 to $1,200. Replacing a fuel pump? You're looking at $400 to $800 depending on the car, so keep that tank above a quarter full to protect your pump. And here's a bonus. Running on empty in winter can cause condensation inside your tank. That water freezes in your fuel lines and leaves you stranded in the cold. The fuel in your tank does more than power your car. It also cools your fuel pump. Driving on low fuel consistently causes the pump to overheat and can introduce air into the system. That affects the engine and indirectly stresses the transmission too, especially if sensors aren't receiving accurate data. And speaking of warnings you shouldn't ignore, this next one lights up your dashboard for a reason. Mistake number 12, ignoring dashboard warning lights. If you're driving around with the check engine light on like it's no big deal, you're asking for trouble. That light is your car waving a red flag saying, "Hey dummy, something's wrong." But too many folks treat it like background noise. A guy rolled into my shop with smoke coming from the hood. Said the light had been on for 2 months. Turns out his catalytic converter was cooked, and so was his wallet. Sometimes it's a loose gas cap. Other times it's a misfire, low oil pressure, or a failing O2 sensor. You won't know unless you scan it. Ignoring it is like covering your ears when the fire alarm goes off. According to AAA, ignoring warning lights is one of the most common reasons for roadside breakdowns. You wouldn't ignore a flashing oil light, so don't ignore any of them. Beyond the usual check engine light, others are worth your attention. The transmission temperature light warns of overheating, which risks serious damage. The oil pressure warning signals a lubrication issue that could wear down your engine fast. And the battery warning light, if it's on, you might face charging issues and risk getting stranded. These lights aren't just alerts, but early warnings to save you from bigger expenses. Speaking of things people ignore, this next one destroys more than just your starter. Mistake number 11, not using the parking brake. Many drivers think automatic cars don't need the parking brake, but here's the truth. When you park without engaging the handbrake, the entire weight of your car rests on the parking pole, a tiny metal pin inside your transmission. Over time, this can cause internal damage or breakage, especially when parked on a slope. Most people think the parking brake is optional in an automatic. Wrong. That pin wasn't built to be a parking spot. It was built as a backup. It's about the size of your pinky finger and it's holding back 4,000 pounds. Park on a hill without the handbrake and you're stressing that POW every single time. Eventually, it wears down, cracks, or snaps. Then your car rolls. Even on flat ground, engine mounts and bushings take extra strain when the POW's doing all the work. There's also no guarantee that the lock pin won't eventually fail. I've seen parking POWs break after years of abuse. The car rolls into traffic, another vehicle, or worse. And the repair? You're pulling the transmission apart just to replace a $30 part that costs $1,500 in labor. Use the parking brake every time. It supports your car and protects your transmission. It's not just for emergencies. It's how you protect the transmission from doing a job it was never designed to handle. But even with perfect parking habits, this next mistake will wreck everything from the inside. Mistake number 10, coasting in neutral. Coasting in neutral is when you let your car roll without any power from the engine, typically by shifting the transmission into neutral while moving. Drivers sometimes do this on downhill stretches, believing it saves fuel. Let's break down 3 big reasons why coasting in neutral isn't all it's cracked up to be. You're cruising downhill and you pop it into neutral to save gas. Sounds smart. It's not. Modern cars are way smarter than that. When you lift off the gas in gear, the engine cuts fuel flow completely. Zero fuel going in. That's how you save gas. Shift into neutral and the engine keeps idling, burning fuel the whole way down. So you're actually wasting more, not less. First, it doesn't save fuel. In modern cars, when you're slowing down in gear, the car cuts fuel flow on its own. So staying in gear saves you more than letting the engine idle in neutral. Second, coasting in neutral cuts down on your control. In a split-second emergency, you won't have the quick power to accelerate out of trouble. And third, it adds extra wear. Shifting back into drive while your engine's idling is tough on your drivetrain. Plus, you're using your brakes more often since the engine isn't helping slow you down. That means more brake wear over time. Some drivers do this for years and wonder why their transmission starts slipping or their brakes wear out twice as fast. Stay in gear. Let the car work the way it was designed. If you're learning something here, hit that like button and subscribe. Mistake number 9, revving the engine when cold. This one, I see it every damn winter. Someone hops in their car, starts it cold, and immediately slams the gas like they're in a Fast and Furious movie. Congratulations, you just took years off your engine's life in under 10 seconds. When your engine's cold, the oil is thick. It hasn't had time to circulate and protect the moving parts. Revving it hard means metal-on-metal contact, increased wear, and zero lubrication where it matters most. When everything's cold, oil and transmission fluid are thick. They haven't circulated yet. They haven't reached all the moving parts. I had a kid with a Mustang do this every morning. Came in 3 months later with piston slap and lifter noise. Guess what? That cold start flex cost him nearly $5,000. You want your engine to last? Start it. Let it idle 30 to 60 seconds. Drive easy for the first few miles. That's it. So when you hit the gas hard, pistons, bearings, gears, and clutch packs are grinding under stress with barely any protection. This is when most engine and transmission wear happens, during cold starts with heavy throttle. But now, some of you all treat it like a drag strip straight out of the driveway. And just when the engine finally warms up, some folks go and ruin everything by doing this. Mistake number 8. Driving in D, all the time, even on hills. Leaving your car in drive on steep descents might feel normal, but it forces your transmission to handle excessive braking instead of using engine compression. This overheats the transmission and wears down your brake pads faster. You're cruising down a mountain road in drive, riding the brake pedal the whole way down. Your transmission's screaming on the inside, and your brakes are cooking themselves into oblivion. Here's the thing. Automatic transmissions have lower gear modes for a reason. Use the L or 2 gear mode for hills. It helps control speed and saves your transmission from unnecessary stress. L, 2 or S mode uses engine braking to control your speed without destroying your brakes or overheating your transmission. Stay in drive on a steep descent, and your transmission has to work overtime managing heat and pressure. That fluid inside starts breaking down fast. Brakes glaze over, rotors warp, and when you finally need to stop hard, nothing's there. I've seen rotors glow red from people dragging brakes downhill for miles. One guy came in after a mountain trip with warped rotors, glazed pads, and transmission fluid that smelled like burnt toast. Cost him $900 to fix what a simple downshift could have prevented. Next time you're heading downhill, drop it into a lower gear. Let the engine do the work. But even if you shift perfectly, this next habit creates damage you can't see until it's too late. Mistake number 7, driving through deep water. Driving through deep water may seem harmless, but it's risky business. Your transmission has vents to release internal pressure, which is great until those vents start letting water in. Here's the thing, in 4-wheel drives, those vents are high up so water rarely sneaks in. But on most regular cars, the vent sits low, right on the transmission itself. You see a big puddle. You think, hey, it's not that deep. So you punch it and send a wave over the hood. Feels cool until your transmission starts slipping 3 hours later. Drive through deep water and you're inviting trouble. On most regular cars, those vents sit low, right on the transmission case. Drive through deep water and those vents suck in water like a straw. Once water mixes with transmission fluid, it creates a thick, milky mess. That mess breaks down the glue holding your clutch packs together. Damaged clutch plates are almost guaranteed. And guess what? This damage can happen in hours. Here's the kicker. Draining the fluid won't undo the damage. With water inside, the transmission starts slipping. Soon enough, it could fail. I've seen transmissions fail the same day after going through deep water. One guy thought he was fine, drove home, parked it. Next morning, no reverse. Transmission was cooked, cost him $4,200 to rebuild. So steer clear of deep water in a regular car. Remember the saying, oil and water don't mix. It's no different for your transmission. Next up, a mistake so common it's practically become a habit for most drivers. Mistake number 6, letting oil changes slide. You wouldn't go a year without brushing your teeth, right? So, why are you going 10,000 miles without an oil change? Oil is your engine's blood. When it breaks down, gets dirty, or runs low, you're basically asking your engine to kill itself from the inside out. I've opened valve covers that look like someone filled the motor with roofing tar, sludge everywhere, cam lobes worn smooth, engine cooked, all because someone forgot to change the oil. Just like engine oil, transmission fluid breaks down over time, but many drivers never check it. I had a customer swear his car was fine because the engine still ran. Yeah, until it seized up on the highway and left him stranded. The $50 oil change he skipped turned into a $3,800 engine replacement. Old fluid loses its lubrication ability, allowing heat and friction to tear up internal parts. Most cars need fresh oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Check your manual, not TikTok. And stop thinking synthetic lasts forever. It doesn't. Check your fluid level and condition regularly. It should be bright red and clean, not dark or burnt smelling. Neglect your oil and you're just slowly murdering your engine. Think neglecting oil is bad? This next one might be even worse. Mistake number 5. Ignoring transmission fluid condition. Just like engine oil, transmission fluid breaks down over time, but many drivers never check it. Old fluid loses its lubrication ability, allowing heat and friction to tear up internal parts. Some manufacturers say transmission fluid is lifetime. Let me translate that for you. They mean the lifetime of the transmission, which you just shortened by believing them. Transmission fluid breaks down. It gets dirty. It collects metal shavings from gears grinding together. Once it degrades, it stops lubricating, stops cooling, and starts destroying everything inside your transmission. Check your fluid level and condition regularly. It should be bright red and clean, not dark or burnt smelling. Replace it every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, depending on your car model. I've cracked open transmissions at 100,000 miles and found sludge thick enough to ruin a shop rag. The owner. But the dealer said I never had to change it. Yeah, and now they're staring at a $3,500 rebuild. Most automatics need fresh fluid every 40,000 to 60,000 miles. Some newer ones go longer, but none of them go forever. If your car doesn't have a dipstick, that doesn't mean the fluid's magic. It just means you need a mechanic to check it. Dark fluid, burnt smell, or slipping shifts. That's your transmission begging for help. Change the fluid before it's too late, because once it starts slipping, you're not fixing it with a flush. You're replacing it. And speaking of heat, this next mistake is cooking transmissions alive every single day. Mistake number 4, leaving the car in drive at stoplights. Keeping the car in drive seems fine when you're at a stoplight, but here's why shifting to neutral is better, especially in the heat. When your car's in drive, the torque converter keeps working even when stopped. This movement creates heat as the transmission fluid slides. On a hot day, this extra heat builds fast. Within minutes, the temperature can rise by 50 degrees, which strains your transmission as it tries to cool. Heat is the #1 killer of automatic transmissions. Not miles, not age, heat. Shifting into neutral helps fluids circulate more freely, with no extra pressure from the torque converter. Heat buildup is reduced. This also prevents wear and overheating on the transmission over time. Your transmission shares cooling with the engine through the radiator. Low coolant, clogged radiator, failing water pump, any of that, and your transmission's cooking itself from the inside out. Transmission fluid starts breaking down fast above 200 degrees Fahrenheit. By 240 degrees Fahrenheit, it's toast. Clutches glaze, seals harden, and metal warps. And hey, if your torque converter's acting a bit shady, you know something's wrong. If your temp gauge ever climbs into the red, pull over immediately. Don't keep driving. Don't think you can make it home. You can't. Check your coolant regularly. Replace it as needed. Fix leaks the moment you spot them. Your transmission's one overheat away from total failure. But if you think heat is the only silent killer, wait till you see what this next habit does. Mistake number 3, overfilling oil. Some folks think, hey, more oil must be better, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Overfilling your engine with oil is just as bad, sometimes worse than running it low. I had a guy top off his oil because he thought he was being proactive. Ended up blowing out his rear main seal. Oil everywhere, transmission soaked. $1,200 fix. All because he didn't know when to stop. When you overfill, the crankshaft starts whipping the oil into a frothy mess. That foam doesn't lubricate. It starves the bearings, wrecks oil pressure, and can choke out the whole system. And don't think the dipstick is optional. That's your measuring stick, not your gut. Always check your oil level after an oil change or top off. Hit the line, not above it. Think you're helping your engine by adding more than it needs? You're not. You're drowning it. Overfilling oil, that's one thing. What comes next? It's completely avoidable, but destroys everything anyway. Mistake number 2, warming up the car incorrectly. Many drivers let their car idle in park for 10 minutes to warm it up. But modern engines and transmissions warm up faster while driving gently, not idling. Prolonged idling just wastes fuel and increases engine wear. You want to warm up your car? Great. But sitting there for 10 minutes in park isn't helping anyone. In cold weather, transmissions need extra attention. Unlike engines, they rely on hydraulic fluid. This fluid thickens as temperatures drop. Thick fluid doesn't flow easily. It slows shifting, causing sluggish responses. Delays like this strain your transmission. If your car's been sitting overnight, give the fluid a chance to warm up. Let it circulate smoothly before you drive. Cold mornings are tough on cars, especially transmissions. Start the car, wait 30 seconds, then drive gently. This helps both the engine and transmission reach optimal temperature quicker. Not idling for 10 minutes, just drive gently for the first few miles. High revs and hard launches before warm-up? That's a one-way ticket to worn rings, blown seals, and slipping transmissions. And while we're talking about things that feel helpful but aren't, let's discuss this next one. Mistake number 1, not warming up your transmission. In cold weather, transmissions need extra attention. Unlike engines, they rely on hydraulic fluid. This fluid thickens as temperatures drop. Thick fluid doesn't flow easily. It slows shifting, causing sluggish responses. Delays like this strain your transmission. If your car's been sitting overnight, give the fluid a chance to warm up. Let it circulate smoothly before you drive. When everything's cold, oil and transmission fluid are thick. They haven't circulated yet. They haven't reached all the moving parts. Cold mornings are tough on cars, especially transmissions. You start the car and immediately floor it out of the driveway like you're at a drag strip. Congrats. You just starved your engine and transmission of the lubrication they desperately need. So when you hit the gas hard, pistons, bearings, gears, and clutch packs are grinding under stress with barely any protection. Start it. Let it idle for 30 seconds. Then drive easy until the temp gauge moves. It's not complicated. Think of it like stretching before a workout. Your car needs time to get its blood flowing too. Modern transmissions have temperature sensors. They know when fluid's cold. They adjust shift points to protect themselves, but they can't protect against you flooring it from a cold start. If you found this helpful, wait till you see what's next. Our next video reveals the maintenance secrets that will save you thousands and keep your car running strong for years. Hit subscribe and stay tuned because your car deserves better, and so does your wallet.